Throughout history, philosophers and theologians have sought to prove the existence of God using various logical arguments. From St. Anselm's ontological proof in the Middle Ages to Descartes' philosophical reasoning, these approaches often relied on the assumption that God's existence could be demonstrated through pure logic. However, critics like Immanuel Kant and Leibniz pointed out that such arguments often presuppose the very thing they aim to prove, leading to a kind of circular reasoning. In the 20th century, mathematician Kurt Gödel attempted to refine these proofs using advanced symbolic logic, but his work remains accessible mainly to specialists and has faced its own criticisms. Meanwhile, thinkers like Pavel Florensky introduced the idea that the beauty and order found in religious art could point to the divine, though this too has been debated. These historical efforts set the stage for new perspectives on the question of God's existence. Moving beyond traditional logic, the authors introduced the concept of nutrosophic logic, a mathematical framework that allows for multiple possibilities between opposites. This approach leads to what they call the nutrosophic triadic, three interconnected arguments for the existence of God. First, the remarkable order in nature from the structure of DNA to the harmony of the cosmos suggests a purposeful design. Second, Pascal's idea of an inner void within every person points to a longing that only the infinite God can fill. Third, the arrow of time, the mysterious one-way flow of time, hints at a supreme controller beyond human understanding. These three arguments, taken together, offer a fresh perspective that seeks to bridge the gap left by earlier philosophical proofs. While logical arguments can provide frameworks for understanding, the authors argue that the most convincing proof of God's existence comes from direct, mystical experience. They suggest that logic and mystical experience are not mutually exclusive but can intersect in profound ways. Drawing on both Western and Eastern traditions, the essay describes the universe as a living, conscious whole, what some call the mind of God. This view, everything in existence from matter to consciousness, participates in a vast interconnected reality. Mystical experiences, often described in religious traditions, offer individuals a sense of oneness, harmony, and connection with the divine. Ultimately, the authors propose that while logic can point us toward the possibility of God, it is personal experience that fills the inner void and brings true understanding. Summary: the search for proof of God's existence has evolved from purely logical arguments to more nuanced approaches that embrace complexity and personal experience. The nutrosophic triadic, nature's order, Pascal's void, and the arrow of time, offers a multidimensional way to consider the divine. By acknowledging both the limitations of logic and the power of mystical experience, this new outline seeks to fill the gaps left by earlier proofs. Whether one is convinced by philosophical reasoning or personal encounters with the divine, the journey to understanding remains deeply individual. This approach encourages open-minded exploration and humility in the face of the mysteries of existence.